Hello and welcome to another live stream. How is everyone doing? Sorry, just adjusting my microphone still. Here we go. How is everyone doing? Thanks for joining me, everyone who's on here or joining me in the future, watching this after the matter of fact. My name's Simon. It's a bit echoey in here actually, just realised. I'm a seven-figure Amazon seller in the UK, and I'm doing this from Dubai right now. I'm in Dubai for 3 months, and yeah, I do these lives normally every Monday, Thursday. Although since I've been in Dubai, I've been slacking a little bit. But yeah, apologies if the video quality is not good. The internet is not good in this Airbnb. But anyway, yeah, I'm a seven-figure Amazon seller, known as FBA Mogul or Simon. And yeah, I do these lives and basically just help people in the community get into Amazon, scared Amazon, answer questions about Amazon. Hey Helen, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. I've just realised it's so echoey in here, it's crazy. But hopefully the sound is coming across okay. Should probably pull the curtains actually because it's got a big glass window ahead of me there. It's probably echoing the sound back at me. But I've just set up the lights and all looks good. I had to buy a load of stuff when I came out here. So and hey Rayanne, hey Sandra, thanks for coming on. Appreciate you guys joining me. Got some regular viewers there. So yeah, first thing I did when I came out to Dubai was buy myself a really nice widescreen monitor, a nice desk, a chair, so I can actually do some work. Although honestly, I've not been doing too much work since I've been in Dubai. So I've been not chilling actually. I've been doing a lot of exercise, sightseeing, walking around. Just maybe too much relaxation basically, and not enough work. But hopefully this week I've been getting back into it though. So yeah, if anyone has any questions around Amazon. Whether you're just starting out, you've been doing it a few months, whether you've been doing it a few years, I can always help. And if I know the answer, I'll help. If I don't, I won't. Basically, I won't ever lie to you. But yeah, so yeah, I think it's the first time this is the first stream I've done from Dubai actually by myself. I did one last week with Seller Smart. That was a really good live actually. But yeah, that was good. So go and check that out on Seller Smart. If you want to hear me talk about what do we talk about? Politics and it's just business and things like that, basically. So yeah, how is everyone's Amazon going? How was January for everyone? So for me, it was not too bad. Actually, just make sure I've got the right. Is the sound okay, guys? Is it all okay? I didn't actually even check. Um, testing, test. Yeah, it's all looks good. Okay, cool. I didn't. I was just setting up my lights last minute, and then I didn't actually think to check the voice was okay, but no, cool, perfect, awesome. So yeah, January was surprising. January is a good month, to be fair. People are always worried that like the day after Christmas, like it's just gonna drop like a stone. That's just not true. Um, Amazon continues to go on afterwards, and January is actually a pretty good month. Now, February does tend to slow down. February, March, I'd say probably some of the slower months, but there's still money to be made for saying the right thing. So, John the Legend, thanks for joining us, by the way. Lol, having a nightmare with Amazon will not take the product without that number. We gave them all the details, but making it difficult. Been over a week setting this up. So, okay, you're trying to create your account on Amazon, but they won't do it without the VAT number. Is that correct? If I understand correctly. We've talked, haven't we, John, I believe, on Discord. Maybe. Unless it's a different John. I do speak to a lot of people, to be fair. But yeah, so, and I believe you, unless I'm thinking of a totally different John here, are you in Dubai as well, John? Unless I've got something totally different. But yeah, in the meantime, let's have a look at my results. What you guys think of some questions and things, if you've got any questions or anything I can help with. Let's look at my numbers. Now, I'll be honest with you, I've not bought any products since basically the 15th or 17th of December, something like that, basically. I've been a bit lazy this month, with Dubai and stuff. And it's not an excuse, really, but, the one nice thing about Amazon, I suppose, is that it kind of runs in the background a little bit. Now, you will suffer if you don't go out there and buy products. But, I had enough products in there that actually, despite the fact I basically did no work in January. But yeah, so yeah, it actually did okay. So no, can't have FBO without that number. Will not hold inventory. Oh, different John. My bad. Yeah. So John. Okay. Firstly, this is not true. Okay, this is not true at all, unless you're outside the UK. So, are you in the UK? Are you based in the UK? Are you setting up a UK company? I'm assuming it's UK, by the way, because again, it could be Europe and stuff you're doing. But yeah. So, if you're based in the UK, okay, and you've got a limited company, therefore you do not need a VAT number, unless you are obviously doing over the VAT limit, basically. So, yeah, that's weird that they're asking for that. But yeah, let's look at my numbers quickly for. So you want to clarify, John? Have you got limited company? Just give us like limited company, VAT registered, sales, all that kind of stuff. Basically, are you brand new seller? And give me more details, basically, and I can give you some, my answer to you on that. Although obviously Amazon have their own rules, but I've never heard of this before, being forced to have a VAT number if you don't actually need one. Now, if you're based outside of the UK and you had a UK limited company, then yes, you would need a VAT number. But brand new, so you do not need a VAT number. You do not need a VAT number. That is total BS, basically. So go back to them, say, I do not need a VAT number. I'm not VAT registered, basically. So yeah, you do not need it. So, but it sounds like you've maybe registered for VAT from the sounds of it, which is, it's not necessarily a mistake, but it's just going to cost you money. You don't need to be registered. You basically get 90,000 in revenue over a 12-month rolling period for free. And not for free, but like without having to register for VAT. And that's going to save you a little bit of money. These days it's not a huge amount, but it's still money you'd be saving. 3-4 I don't know exactly, it's hard to say actually, but a couple of grand at least that you'll be paying in tax that you don't need to pay. Also, you're taking on a lot of accounting burden as well when you're so okay, so you've been running for 4 years. What is your okay, this is making more sense now. Okay, and what's your revenue per year? That'll be the thing to know about, basically. Right, let's look at my previous month. So this is, honestly, I'm not that happy with this number, but at the same time, considering I literally did no work in January, this isn't too bad. So 7,000 profit, 58,500 in sales, about 25% ROI. I literally wasn't paying any kind of attention to it, really. It's my costs are not too bad, really. I do have some storage fees, which are quite significant, actually, looking at £1,000. I need to look in, but I guess I had a lot of stuff in Q4, to be fair. So I paid about £1,000 basically for storage in December, about £250,000 worth of stock. So not too bad, really. So overall, I probably made about 5,000 profit, I'd say, after my expenses. So just to give you a rough idea, this is gross profit, what we're seeing here, and then my net profit is about 5,000, I guess, something like that, basically, which is, it's not great, but it does the job. But yeah, so I'm back to Amazon anyway today. I bought quite a few things. Today's sales aren't, too bad again. Let's look at today. I've had some nice A2As come. Ew, where's that screenshot gone? Had some nice A2As come in as well. So yeah, it's pretty good. And I'm just getting back into it, ramping back up again. Is this the one? Yeah, here we go. This is today. So not too bad, really. A couple of nice little sales here and there. £217 profit for the day. Not too bad. So maybe I'll hit 250 if I'm lucky by the end of the day. Maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, not too bad, really. So okay, so yeah, last year nothing as we changed what we was doing, but turnover was 100k. Well, if turnover is 100k, then you need to be VAT registered, yes. But before, turnover was 100k. So okay, so you were registered for VAT, then I guess you deregistered with HMRC, and now Amazon. Yeah, it's a tricky situation. You technically, as far as I'm aware, you wouldn't need to register for VAT at this point, but I could kind of see why Amazon maybe want it, but at the same time, they really shouldn't need it. If you're not, it's not up to them to police your VAT registration, essentially. That is up for HMRC. But yeah, I can see why it could be an issue. But yeah. So if you did a year of 100k, and by the way, it's not based on financial year, VAT, by the way. It's based on a 12-month rolling average, by the way. So it's nothing to do with financial years when it comes to the turnover for VAT. So yeah, you can't just do like 85k in March, and then hope that April 6th comes along and it like, oh, that's self-assessment. But yeah, that it resets in the financial year. It doesn't work like that with VAT. Basically, it's on a 12-month rolling. So yeah, there's no resets essentially at the end of a financial year. So maybe that's where you're getting caught up. I don't know. But yeah, so well, if Amazon want the VAT number, just do it. I suppose is just jump through their hoops, I suppose. And oh god, excuse me. Yeah, jump through their hoops, and and one reason I've not been on, by the way, it's taken me a little while to get back into the kind of like the shifting my sleeping pattern towards the UK time, so I can actually do these lives again. Although I may actually just do these lives around 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. instead of 8 p.m. in the future. That way I can kind of like get some normality back in Dubai, but also meet my obligations for doing YouTube and things like that, basically. So, but yeah. Anyway, it's not been a bad month. Considering I did no work, that's not too bad. But yeah, today I've probably spent about 12 plus, maybe about £2,500, maybe £2,500 is probably about right, yeah, in stock, for today. And I need to start ramping up a bit more, basically. I need to be getting to the point where I'm spending 100,000 every single month. So I need to start ramping up again. But yeah, so, yeah. That's what I do, jumping through hoops. Oh, excuse me, guys. The last thing you want to do is come on and see some guy yawning. But yeah, what I've been doing in Dubai, I've been going to the mall pretty much every day. They've got a gigantic mall here. I'm living in downtown in Business Bay in Dubai, and I'm here for 1 month, and I'm doing 2 months in the marina. And I've just been going down to the mall every day, basically. Sometimes during the day, sometimes in the evenings. Just they've got a really nice like boulevard along there. It's called King. Oh God, I can't remember the name of the king. They've got a really good, nice boulevard that's obviously like it's very flashy because it's aimed for the tourist. I can't remember the name. Anyway, and it's really nice. It's just really nice to walk out there and walk along outside. It's a little bit chilly outside at the moment. It is picking up, and I actually went through a bit of a cold spell in Dubai. I was actually freezing outside. Not like UK, but like it was getting down to like 11 degrees, and that was chilly. But yeah, so I've just been doing a lot of walking, and then going into the mall, walking around, trying on loads of watches, and just going into all the stores and stuff, and just generally just for the most part just walking around, getting my steps in and stuff like that. So and just exploring and taking it all in, and but yeah, it's been good. One thing I like to do, one of my hobbies is collecting watches. So I've been going into a lot of watch shops and trying on various watches. I was so close to buying a new watch on the 31st of January because the price was going to go up on the 1st of February. It was a really nice Zenith Meteorite dial, and it was like £11,500. I was so tempted to get it. It was so nice, but then I just couldn't bring myself to do it. It's just too much money to spend on a watch that I'm going to lose money as I step out the store. But also, honestly, one thing I felt like is I didn't deserve it because I basically not done any work all of January. I was like, you know what? I can't just reward myself with some really fancy watch, and when I've not done any work. So, hey, you know what, John? Don't worry. I treat myself plenty. Don't you worry. That's not the problem. I've already got a couple of nice watches. I've got a Breitling and I've got a Rolex. So, the next one, I don't know what I'll get, but I've tried on some. The one thing I love about Dubai is how like if you want to walk in and just like try on a watch that costs 150k, 200k, they'll just let you do it. I was in one watch store actually where they laid out 3 watches that's probably worth about 200 to 250,000 pounds. There was no one else in the store. It was like 11 p.m. at night. And the sales lady just said, "Oh, do you want a drink or anything?" I said, "Oh, sure, I'll take a water." And she just literally just left them all with me, doors wide open, into the mall. Just went off into the back. You just don't. This just doesn't happen in the UK. They watch the watches like a hawk, basically. So there's a really nice trust. That's obviously because you do not want to commit a crime out here. That's why. But yeah, that level of safety is so nice, which is great. But yeah, so don't worry, John. I will. I will. I buy these things when I achieve things, basically. So when I set personal goals and then I achieve them, then that's when I'll treat myself to things like that. Whereas, it was just this like deadline with the price increase and stuff. It was only going up by 400 quid, but still, it was like, if you're going to buy it, you're going to buy it. And I decided just to not treat myself that time, and maybe towards the end of the holiday or when I go back to the UK, I'll treat myself to something if I hit a certain goal. So one of them is inside of the mentoring program. So, by the way, anyone who's interested, I do mentoring. So, yeah, we've got 14 students actually. I think it's 14 or 15 students now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14 students, yes, which is awesome. So maybe when I get to 30 students, I'll treat myself, or 50 students, or over 100 students, I'll treat myself to a new watch, basically, or something to kind of celebrate that. But yeah, so yeah. Yeah, exactly, John. You're 100% right. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, that harsh punishment is what keeps it so safe. That's one thing that's really nice. So, yeah, well, yeah. Anyway, I won't get too much into that stuff, but the safety out here is insane. That's one thing I really like, basically. So, but yeah, I just kind of like go in, and I've tried on some amazing watches, like 150, 200 gram watches. Just it's aspirational for me. To think that one day I could spend the money on that, and not worry too much. So, but anyway, has anyone got any questions around Amazon? I realise I've not been on in a while, so actually just need to maybe put an announcement out to everyone just to remind them. I'll do at everyone. I'm live. Come on and ask any questions you have about Amazon, or just come and hang out. Cool. So let's put a little announcement out to everyone. So, yeah, cool. Right, just to get a few more people on and get some let's get some questions going basically around Amazon. So yeah, actually interesting. So one of my childhood friends, a guy called James, has just started Amazon. He wanted to get some sort of side hustle going, and I've been helping him out. But to be fair, he's done a great job getting out there and learning himself as well. He was asking, he's been selling on Amazon maybe a month now, maybe a little bit. No, yeah, probably about a month actually, I think. I think he started just after Christmas. And one of the things he actually asked me was like, oh, should I start selling on eBay? He just literally asked me this like an hour ago. And I was like, honestly, don't diversify out into eBay and TikTok and Temu and whatever. This is not your goal, basically. And obviously in the long run, the goal is to make money from this. But when you're like brand new to Amazon like that, you need to focus on just doing Amazon, because when you're a brand new seller, like John is, for example, it doesn't matter how old your company is, limited company, you're going to be in that probation period with Amazon. And that first sort of 3 months with Amazon, you need to get, ideally, I think it's 200 sales, 100 to 200 sales going. And and that basically kind of gets you out the probation period. So it's like 3 months, 200 sales. So diversifying out onto eBay and things like that is just not the goal. Also, the sales volumes and stuff on those platforms. I mean, TikTok's maybe a bit different. The sales volumes on there are quite high, but on eBay and places like that, the sales volumes are just not as good. The prices aren't as good, and just need to just focus down on Amazon. Basically, that should be your goal. And then there's nothing stopping you in a year's time or whatever. I use eBay just to clear stock, But when it comes to buying things, typically I'm limited on how many I can buy. Just in the model that I do, which is online arbitrage, so buying from online stores, let's say like John Lewis or Sports Direct or something like that. Normally I'm limited on how many I can get. Maybe it's an end of a sale or something, and I pick up all the stock, maybe 10 stock or whatever, or there's a limit or whatever it is. There's only so many I've got, and I know I'm going to maybe make £20 per unit on Amazon. Why would I ever take £15 on eBay, apart from maybe trying to just sell through faster? But honestly, with something like eBay, you're not going to sell through faster. So you're better off just doing Amazon. Now, if you've got unlimited stock of something, let's say you find a really good lead and you can get unlimited stock, then sure, I would definitely sell on freaking Amazon, UK, EU, eBay, Temu, TikTok. It makes more sense at that point when you've got an unlimited stock to sell on every channel possible. So when I was doing Nike sneakers, for example, I had a really good lead from Sports Direct. I sold over 3,000 pairs of Nikes on Amazon. I was literally doing every pretty much channel I could do. I was taking sales in France, Germany, UK. I didn't care where it was, because essentially it was almost unlimited. Now, it turned out not to be unlimited, but it pretty much was, basically. It literally used all my stock up, all my capital up, basically. But yeah, so what is Source Mogul? It's nothing to do with me, Source Mogul. So this is owned by Profit Sweep. So the guy, Spence, who owns Profit Sweep, has acquired Source Mogul, which is a software, and he's kind of revamping it and launching it. It has nothing to do with me. I have actually asked him to change the name, politely, nicely, because there's going to be a conflict on names, so it kind of sucks. There we go. It is what it is. But yeah, nothing to do with me. I'm not saying I won't ever, like collab with them, but there is a conflict in the names there, really. But yeah, nothing to do with me. But it is it's like I guess like a deal finding software, basically, allegedly. Yeah, we'll see what happens when it launches. I'll get access to the beta, give it a go, and then yeah. So John Legend, so finding products the hardest. It is until you learn how to source, then it becomes a capital problem, basically. So once you learn to source, your biggest problem is going to be capital. So Helen, can you please run through Keeper data? Sure. Have you got any ASINs you want me to review? Have you got anything you want me to look at in terms of Keeper or anything in particular you want me to run through? Now, typically, until you answer that, typically when I'm looking at Keeper, so Keeper, by the way, is the software we use to analyze data. So when we're looking at products, by the way, and I'm deciding, should I buy this product or not? I'm looking at, I'm looking at the price history of this product. I'm looking to see, let's say I find a product I'm buying for £50, I'm hoping to sell it for £100. I'm looking at the data and going, is it realistic? I had the sale come through. Is it realistic for me to sell it for £100? I'm looking at the price history of the past 3 to 12 months to determine, is this current price of, say, £100 a realistic price? Is it a temporary price spike for whatever reason? Or is it a normal price that I could normally hit? So that's essentially the way I look at it. So Helen's saying, no, just explain the data, buy box, how many Amazon have in stock. So, okay, so I'm not sure what you mean by the data, but you can elaborate while I go onto the buy box. So buy box is let me screenshot. When we talk about buy box in Amazon, what we're talking about, basically, not that it's anything revolutionary, but let me just get a typical Amazon product up here. This is one I'm making quite a lot of money on right now. This is the buy box. Basic. Actually, I'm not going to do that now because I said I was on this listing. Let me find a different one quickly. Sorry. Right, the buy box. Obviously, most of you know what it is, but I'm just going to pick another product quickly here. Right, cool. Is this here? Okay, cool. Right. This is I think it's 85% or something of sales or occur, in this. So winning this is the most important thing. If you win this, you're basically going to get sales. If you don't win this, it's going to be harder to get sales. I'm not saying you won't get sales, but there's no point, John, because that product's been and gone. Basically, I wish I could that product I was going to show you, I wish I could buy 1,000 of them right now for that price. I can't. I maxed out what I could get, and it was good. I wish I could get more. But yeah, this is the buy box. And like I said, it's something like 85% of sales happen through the buy box. Now, there are other sellers on this listing, but this, is an example of just, the buy box. And what determines the buy box? It pretty much comes down to price. And no one really knows the algorithm, apart from the employees at Amazon, or some employees anyway, know the algorithm for how the buy box works. If you knew this, you'd be rich person, rich man, rich woman. But yeah, so what determines buy box? Pretty much the most important thing is price. The second most important thing is, I guess, this is where it gets just come down to kind of experience and stuff like that. Is like time on listing, seller rating, account health, stock as well can be a factor as well. I'm trying to think what else really is an important thing. Those are kind of like the major ones. I'm sure there are some other ones as well, but pretty much the most important thing is price. That is the most important thing. If you have a competitive price, you'll get the buy box. And then obviously all the other things kind of I'd say it's like 90% buy box, 90% price, and then the rest of the 10% is made up of little factors here and there, basically. So again, time on listing, stock on listing, seller account health. Have you got any recent IP claims or wealth claims? All these things kind of factor in, basically. So yeah, this is an important thing to get. The only thing you can really focus on is the price and just matching the lowest price. And sometimes you just have to wait your turn. Maybe there's 2 or 3 sellers all at the same price, like $59.94, and you just can't get the buy box. Now, one way to try and win the buy box, which people do, is just penny pinch and just go like $59.93. The problem with that is everyone runs reprices. So if you do that, they're going to reprice you within like 10 seconds, basically. They've got software just automatically reprices, so it's pointless. So the only real thing to do is just be patient and just wait your turn, basically, and try and just improve your account health. Improve that's pretty much all you can do, basically. Yeah, and just be patient. But yeah, that's pretty much the buy box explained. From what we know, no one truly knows how it actually works, because it's a bit like the Google algorithm. If you knew that, you'd be able to sell that knowledge for like 50, 100 million quid. I don't know. Like if you knew the actual algorithm, like if you knew the algorithm for the buy box, it's not as valuable as the Google one, maybe, but you could probably sell it for like £1 million quid. I don't know. I don't know. I've got no idea, actually. If you knew it, it's pretty secretive. I don't think there's that many people that know exactly the algorithm. But yeah, anyway. And then what was the other question? It was, sometimes you see Amazon have stock. And a good thing to do, by the way, is just add the stock to cart. Sometimes you'll see like Amazon have like 30 plus. Just add it to cart and see. And then when you're in cart, go 999 and just see. Sometimes it'll add 999. Sometimes it will show you less stock. That's another good way to look at stock. But I don't normally worry. I almost pretty much always assume that Amazon have 999. Pretty much. Like I won't ever worry too much about that. But yeah, if that's what you're asking, Helen. But yeah, so yeah, that's that, I think. AKJ Wholesale, hey mate, love your stuff. Thank you, appreciate it. Have you been seeing people get regated with products? I've had previously approved products get gated, now requesting. Yes, I have, yes. Yep, regating is, no, it's on the Keeper graph. Oh, you're talking about the, how many Amazon have in stock? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Helen, sorry. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by, no, it's on the Keeper graph. Not sure what you mean. Let me just take this one, for example. What do you mean? This is a typical Keeper graph, by the way. So this is what we use to determine prices and stuff like that, and sales per month and things, So this is your Hugo Boss aftershave. You can look at the price there. You can look at the middle chart is the sales per month. Apparently ridiculous. At Christmas, this was doing 20,000 sales a month. I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean. Yeah, you have to elaborate a bit more. I don't know what you're getting at, Helen. Sorry. Oh, you mean the data? Okay. I see what you mean. Okay, you're going into the data, right? And what do you mean stock? Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by stock. So inside the data, you can see are you talking about buy box percentage? Is that what you're talking about? That could be an interesting one. But yeah, I'm not sure what you mean other than that, basically. If you screenshot me or take a photo and DM me, I can maybe see what you're elaborating at. Sell in 30 days. I don't really look at that, to be honest with you. I'm honestly not sure what you mean, Helen. Sorry. I don't really look. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean, basically. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you talking about Amazon itself or the listing? I'm not sure what you mean. Pasha saying, do you ever find a great deal that you end up making tons of accounts to loop the orders? It all depends on the website. Yes, I have in the past. It depends on the website. So some websites, they let you do one order or have a limit. Other websites, they just don't care. Now, the best websites out there are ones where they always have deals and they don't care about order limits. So those are kind of like the golden sites to find. And I know multiple of those. Some of them I've already mentioned before in other streams. Just realized my t-shirt inside that now. But yeah, so, those are the ones. But yes, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you have to create multiple accounts. If that's what you need to do to get past if it's good enough deal, then definitely. 100%, basically. So Helen's going to screenshot me. In the meantime, the question, I'm not sure what you mean, what she's getting at, but this will hopefully get to kind of that. But yeah, buy box statistic, that's an interesting one. A massively misunderstood statistic inside the Keeper. Who here has heard of buy box statistics and looking at Amazon's buy box percentage? Does anyone actually use that stat? Because I don't. I'll be interested to see if anyone else uses that or not. So because I think it's one of the most misunderstood and what's the word? Like it's just one of the most misunderstood statistics I see out there, basically. Some good questions though coming in. But yeah, so that was it's a good chat on Buy Box actually there. So it's all about winning the Buy Box. If you can do that, you make loads of money, basically. But it's not always under your control. So all you can try and do is be competitive with the prices. So yeah, and hey Snappy, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. I appreciate. Did you enjoy the Seller Smart interview, Snappy? Not interview, like it was just a chat, wasn't it? I suppose, yeah, because you came on and asked some good questions. But yeah, thanks for coming on, buddy. Appreciate it. Snappy's another regular viewer. But yeah, if you've got any questions about Dubai while I'm here, by the way, feel free to answer anything you want, guys. We're just chilling, hang out. Any questions about Amazon or anything like that? So I thought it was really good, Snappy. I really enjoyed it. I could have happily carried on talking for ages, to be honest with you. You could probably tell by that, to be fair. But yeah, anyway, So I could have carried on for ages, but I guess things do have to come to an end at some point. But yeah, I'm just waiting for this. Anyway, it was good. So, but yeah, Sean had things to do. How was the business class flight? So yes, I flew, and one of the great things about doing Amazon and buying all your stock through American Express is that you get points. I've got a ridiculous number of points to use, and I went BA business class, and actually it was pretty disappointing. I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit cramped, but it was fine, to be fair. It was just not very comfortable to sleep on. You know, I booked a night flight. It was just not, I'm a side sleeper. You know, I just couldn't get comfy, and I really didn't sleep much at all. So I honestly just won't book a night flight again. The whole idea of night flight is just I could just sleep and wake up fresh in the morning. I think the flight arrived at 9 a.m. in Dubai, and I could just get on with my day, and it just didn't work out like that. I was absolutely shattered. It took me a long time to get my sleeping pattern back. But yeah, so but it was pretty. It was not the best. I've had better, basically. I've had much better. So I'll show you some pictures actually if I just download them from iCloud. It's probably my internet in this Airbnb is really bad. Why have I got to sign in again? It keeps making me sign in. Let me just do it this way. But actually, no, I've sent some already, some people. But yeah, so maybe I can get them. But yeah, so it was okay anyway, but it wasn't the best. I've had better. First class is significantly better than business class, to be fair, as you probably expect. And yeah, it was okay though. It was comfortable in terms of like being able to lie down, but I just didn't sleep very well. That's the problem. Anyway, yeah. So do you have future plans to try wholesale private label? I've got zero interest in private label. I don't think I'll ever do private label, to be honest with you. Wholesale, yes, I will do wholesale. Yeah. So no problem with that. Honestly, I like the online arbitrage model, but I've done wholesale through Cogita before. Before I do it all the time, I've not ordered in a little while. I went ridiculously deep on Cogita in December and November for Christmas. But wholesale, yeah, definitely. It's just finding the wholesalers and ordering, basically. Yeah, so do you have your current chair looks like a first class seat. Yeah, exactly. This is just it's actually not too expensive, like 80 quid or something from Amazon. Does the job, I had this exact one last time I came to Dubai, and I just gave it away to someone on like the Gumtree equivalent here. Obviously, not what I was going to do with it, but yeah, it does the job for me. You got to be comfortable when you have a good office environment, But yeah, so recommend sleeping in the window seat. I was in the window. Yeah, I booked the window, so I had to pay like 80 quid extra for that. But yeah, so once you've done first class, business class just seems a little bit cramped. Just not gonna lie. You can still lie down. That's the main thing. And I think what I'll do is just do a day flight next time, so I can just chill, put the laptop on my belly, and just whatever, and just watch movies and stuff or TV series and just chill. I just can't sleep on a flight, so I won't even bother trying doing a night flight again. I'll just literally just do a day flight again, basically. Yeah, so I'd try and book first next time as well. I just couldn't get a first class flight. They did start opening up after I booked, but I'm flying back with Qatar Q Suite, which would be really good. So that's technically business class, but it's also their highest class, I believe. I'm not an expert, but yeah, it looks really good. So I'm looking forward to trying that. But yeah, so I actually just realized, I think I was talking about mentoring before, but if anyone is interested in mentoring, there should be a link below. Book a call in with me. I can teach you how to do Amazon. But yeah, so I feel like I tailed off last time on it. I can't remember what I said. But yeah, so if that's something that interests you want to scale Amazon, start Amazon, Yeah, it's all on arbitrage though. We don't do wholesale. Well, we do Cogito a little bit. It's like one tiny part of the curriculum. We don't do private label, but yeah, not really anyway. It's mainly on arbitrage, but yeah, that's the method. That's the cash. That's the cash generator is on arbitrage. I'm not saying again that other models aren't good. They are. They're good models. Private label, brand direct, wholesale can be great models. Just really bad for beginners and not great for cash building. But yeah, so if you want to learn on arbitrage, reach out. There should be a link below. You can book sort of a discovery call with me. We're at 14 people now. When we get to 20 people, the price is going up by £1,000. We're going to keep raising the price. So on the mentoring, so it's going to keep going up and up and up and up. Basically, that's the way it's going to keep going. So we'll never dilute it, if that makes sense. I just don't think that model. I think the way that we do it right now is so good. I'd like to keep it that way. It's just in terms of scaling it, the only way you can scale it is without diluting the mentoring program and making it not as good. And it really is. It is first class. Is to just keep raising the price. So that's what we'll do basically. If you lived in Dubai, would you consider selling an Amazon UE? Potentially, yeah. I don't think so. So interestingly, by the way, one of the things I do when I go around the malls is one thing I like aftershaves, I like watches. So sometimes I'll try aftershaves. And I went in and I tried a few Creed ones, found a really nice one, and I was like, oh, I'll look on Amazon. I found it on Amazon. And basically it just looks like it's all fakes. It's it's Amazon.ae to get the UAE site. And I was looking at the Creed original vetiver. And if you look at, there's like 3 sellers on there selling it, and it's super cheap as well. Like £125 for a bottle that cost about 350 quid in the mall, and about 300 or 250 or 280 or something like that from Creed. So like significantly cheaper. Everyone's just complaining from these sellers that they're all fakes, and these guys some of these sellers have got thousands of feedback, but it just says all the feedback's fake, 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 fake. I don't know how they're getting away with it. It's crazy. But something I would consider doing. But then you're up against that kind of competition where there's no way you can get a Creed 100mm original vetiver for £125. There's no freaking, and sell it on Amazon for a profit. There's no way. It's just not possible. It's so expensive. Hey Sauls, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. So, but that's something I'd potentially consider doing. But I'd carry on running the UK one. That'll be the plan if I decide to move here. I've still not made the decision yet. There's a lot of things I really love about Dubai. There's actually nothing I don't like about it really, but I just don't know if I can see myself living here. That's the problem. I'd still run my UK company, still run Amazon UK. Doing what I'm doing with the prep center, and just carry on doing that basically. I just forgot to check my Discord. So, someone was actually asking me about mentoring, but. On Discord today, but said it's too expensive, and yeah, it's not cheap, but yeah, it is. If you want that quality, then you have to pay for it basically. Anyway, it is what it is. So, I have no problem doing Amazon in Dubai as long as it wasn't too much of a headache. Really, I wouldn't even know where to start about sourcing products and things like that. It's something I'd consider doing. No problem. Yeah. So there's a lot of money out here. People spend a lot of money on a lot of things. So I think there could be a good market. To be fair, it's just I'll start from square one basically. About buying stuff. Even more so than if you start Amazon UK, because at least you've heard of certain websites and certain stores out here. It's all new to me in a way. So I'm not saying they don't have Western stores. They do, but Yeah. Anyway, you know what I mean. Basically, I have to learn. There'll be a lot of learning, basically. But it could be a good challenge. To be fair, actually, it could be a good challenge. Yeah, doing that. So I need to think how that would work, actually. But yeah, I don't see why not. But yeah. So any other questions or anything I can help with? Looks like Helen, do you purchase direct from manufacturer? I do not know. That would be considered, I guess, brand directors that I bought from Sports Direct, or I'm buying Paco Rabanne from Quigita, or I'm buying, I don't know, I've sold all sorts of stuff. Hose Lock, I'm buying existing branded items, so I don't have to pay for advertising. Nike, everyone's already heard of Nike, so if I can buy it for the right price, there's already a market out there for people buying that stuff, so I can just sell it basically. Whereas something like private label, for example, if I created my own brand, let's say I made myself a mouse, as a thing, calling it FBA Mogul Mouse or whatever. I'd have to obviously import it, manufacture it, create the listing, take the photos, advertise it, brand registration, all that kind of stuff. Then the big one's obviously going to be advertising. No one's ever heard of Mogul Mouse. Let's call it whatever. There's a name for you, Mogul Mouse. So I'd have to then create that brand and create demand for that product, which is pretty much the hardest part of it all, basically. Whereas this one's a Logitech one, yeah. So I don't have to then I don't have to advertise Logitech. Everyone knows what Logitech is. So that's the benefit of doing online arbitrage. So just buying existing branded items from online retailers. And there's just so many deals out there, it's crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Nothing too fancy. It's just people don't know how to source. And that's essentially, when it comes to mentoring, that's what people pay for. It's about, I need to add up how many sourcing methods it is, because I keep looking. Let me look, actually. I can count them up. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 10, 12, 14. I don't know. Yeah, 12 sourcing methods, something like that we teach, basically. I can't remember exactly. So you learn every single strategy that we know, and I'm not saying there aren't more strategies, there definitely are. And then from there, you can then solve your sourcing problem, and then you have a capital problem, basically. So, do you use software to source? One of the things we use a lot is Arbisource. Great bit of software. But yeah, sourcing is key. Snappy is 100% correct. The money is made in the buy, not the sell. If you can buy anything cheap enough, you can make money on it, basically. So the money is made in the buy, not the sell. Remember that. But yeah, we use software. I mean, just in terms of like basic software we're using SellerAmp, we're using Keeper. Most people are using a profit tracking software like Seller Toolkit or Seller Board or Seller Fuse or Seller Site or Invino. They're not ones that really find your products, though. An actual bit of software that helps you find products, if you utilize it correctly, is Arbisource. That's one of them, basically. It's a pretty good bit of software. It's actually somewhat key to the mentoring program, actually. So we teach a lot of our sourcing methods with Arbisource as a tool to help you. It's a good tool. Most people use it wrong, to be honest with you. The amount I've actually, who was I having a call with? Yeah, it was one of my mentees, I think. Yeah, I think it was anyway. And they were just like, they signed up to Arbisource, they cancelled it because they just didn't get any success from it. And they were just using it totally wrong, basically, the wrong parts of Arbisource and things like that. So yeah, it was just, so that, yeah, we ended up teaching him how to do that, basically. But yeah, so anyway, if you guys want to sign up, by the way, I don't know if there's a link in the description for it, but I'll get you guys I've got a discount code as well, so you guys can get a discount code. If you guys want to sign up and give it a go, I think you get a 14-day free trial. So let me get you guys the link. Dun, dun, dun. So that's the link, and if you use the code FBAMogul30, you can get 30% off your first month. So, but yeah, it's a good bit of software. It's a good bit of software. Yeah, anyway, have you used Eni? I have not. You do not get marketplace invoices from them, therefore I do not recommend you purchase from them, basically. So yeah, you can't use them, pretty much. So yeah, Eni, I know about it, I've heard about it. They're doing quite a good job advertising out there. They're trying to jump through all the hoops with Amazon, but end of the day, they don't provide valid invoices for Amazon. And if you get an authenticity complaint and you don't have the supplier invoice, then you are going to struggle, basically. So no, I think they're trying to work through that. But right now, I don't recommend you use it, basically. Yeah, unfortunately. So the difference between Eni and Cogita is Cogita, well, not with all suppliers, but you can put a filter on for finding suppliers that give you marketplace invoice, is that you can do that. And then when you buy from Cogita, essentially you are buying from Cogita, but then if you get an authenticity complaint, you can actually get the invoice from the original wholesaler. So you've got the wholesaler and Cogita, and that's good enough normally for Amazon, not always. With Eni, you just get the Eni invoice, and then Amazon's going to say, can you give us this supplier? And Eni are going to say, nope, and you're not going to be able to do it. Now, again, maybe they'll change in the future. I think that the model between Eni and Cogita is slightly different as well. My understanding is that Eni actually purchase the stock on your behalf. It goes to their warehouse and they repack it. I understand, but I'm not an expert. But that still doesn't solve the problem of the supply chain, though. So I know they're working hard with Amazon to try and resolve this, but it's still an issue, basically. So, and sometimes it can be a pain. You have to try 2, 3, 4, 5 times with Amazon when you're using Cogita and Marketplace Invoice as well. That can be a pain. Amazon have said, give us your supplier. You do it, and then they're like, nah. It's sometimes a bit of a pain, really. So, do not. I genuinely don't know Snappy, to be honest with you. I'm not sure about that. I'll be honest, I've not really used it. I've just heard pretty much just about the Marketplace Invoice issue, and that's why I've not even really investigated too much. But yeah, I'm not sure. Now, that is the nice thing about Cogita is that the price. It's actually someone asked me literally the other day about. They were talking to a wholesaler or something, and they said, "Oh, with Cogita, you'll have to pay import fees." And actually, no, Cogita, the price you pay at checkout, that includes your VAT, that includes all your import fees, it includes all your shipping as well. So, I don't know if I've even got a link for Cogita in the description. I don't know. But yeah, with Cogita, you can. Let me get the. Again, I'm talking about Cogita. You guys might want to sign up. Let me get you a link and a code to get. So I think it's £100 off now your first order on Cogita. It's a good platform, a really good platform. Just only buy from sellers that have a Marketplace Invoice. So that's the link for Cogita, and use the code FBA Mogul, all capitals, when you sign up. You'll get some credit towards your first order. One thing to mention, by the way, multi-accounting is banned. You're not allowed to do that, and you cannot use the code multiple times. They will come after you. They will reclaim their money. They'll take you to court. Do not do it. Do not multi-account with Cogita. Just one time only. That's it. So yeah, do not do it. Basically, I'm telling you right now. But yeah, so Cogita's good. Just make sure you're buying from retailers that give you Marketplace Invoices. That's the important thing, basically. So, but yeah. Pause that quickly. But yeah, so, and then the next question was, do you sell stock on Amazon that sells less than 50 times per month? Absolutely, yes, I do. 100%. All I care about is how much money I can make on a listing in a monthly basis. So if I can sell one item a month and make £50 profit, for example, I will definitely do that. So yes, I will definitely. So, but yeah. So, but yeah, with Cogita anyway, all those import fees and stuff is all included in the shipping fees, in the fee. But once you check out and you pay, that's it, you're done. Basically, no import fees, no shipping fees, no nothing. It's paid. They deal with it all for you. So I've had pallets delivered from Europe. I've had all sorts done. Multiple pallets delivered from Europe. It's all just turns up nicely without any hassle whatsoever because they deal with it all for you. So that's one great thing, to be fair. One really good thing about Cogita, to be honest with you. And there's a link there and a code if you want. You can use FBA Mogul, all capitals, when you sign up. Or if you've got an existing account, you can go to account, promotions, promo code. I think you can try and put it in. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't give you a code. But just do not multi-account Cogita. They're really strict about it. So there's certain websites you can loop orders, fine. With Cogita, do not do it. I'm telling you right now. They are on top of it. They got very upset with me because someone was using my code a lot to do that. And I was like, I've got nothing to do with it. But yeah, so they're really on top of it, basically. But yeah, it's a one-time gift. Take advantage for the first time and then just use the platform as normal. I even heard of some people doing some crazy stuff with I'm not even going to say it, actually, because I feel like if I say what it is, it's going to encourage people to do it. But committing fraud, basically, just to get £100 off an order is just crazy. Like committing actual serious fraud. It's just nuts. But anyway... so good platform anyway. I've spent a freaking fortune on there, and I've done over. I actually need to add up how much I've spent. I'm going to just give it a task to my VA. But in terms of orders, I've done 257 orders from 257 orders. So a decent amount, decent. Considering average order is probably. I don't know. It's got to be more than 1,000. It's got to be, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at an order 16,000, 5,000, 4,000, 10,934, 10,447. I'm just looking at just a few here that I'm looking at right now. A few basically. So, anyway, it's a pretty good website. Let's get rid of that basically. So yeah, well, there we go. So look. There's some orders. There's a couple more interesting ones as well. These are all done in October, November time. Another one there. Yeah, you can see basically. Anyway, you guys get the idea. Yeah. Anyway, it's a good platform. I like it. When you can find the deals, that is. When you can find the deals. So John, lots of health and beauty on there. Unless you have lots of money to start, especially on aftershave, they want to invoice 100. Yeah, I get that. This sucks. So all I can say is you don't need to ungate with the exact item you want to sell. So if you can find a cheap ungate, you can do that. So, if you can find, say, 100 small tester bottles of Marc Jacobs or something, I don't know, then do. I know it's kind of hard to do, but then you can do that basically. Am I the biggest purchase on Cookeeter? Absolutely not. No, I know they had, I don't know if I should say this, but they had a record. I'm sure it'd be fine to say it. They had one customer place a single order, which was their record. It was over £500,000 on one order. So yeah, I don't think I've even done 500,000 in total. I don't know. So yes, I'm definitely not the biggest purchase on there. Absolutely. There are some huge whales on Cookeeter. So by the way, Cookeeter's not just for Amazon sellers. There are some big online retailers that order from Cookeeter, and I'm talking big retailers, like spending 500,000 on an order. So, that was their biggest order at the time, and that was several months ago. Maybe there's someone bigger since. I'll have to ask, actually. But yeah, so, but no, I'm not. I'm the biggest affiliate, don't get me wrong on that front, but I'm the biggest advocate as well, because it's a great platform. But definitely not the biggest purchaser. Wish I was. Again, it all comes down to, unlike with a retail shop, let's say you have a Shopify store, you can kind of set your prices. You can probably buy more than you can as an Amazon seller. On Amazon, again, all the money's made in the buy. I can't just go on and say, well, I'm going to sell this for £100 when everyone else is selling it for 50 quid. I have to determine what I can. Well, firstly, the sales volume is based on Amazon, but also the price based on Amazon as well. So what the listing entails with all the sellers on there. So there's only so many deals that you can find on there, basically. So I'm not saying there aren't loads of deals. There are. If you put the work in, you can find the deals. But it's not like you can just go on, just buy, just say, oh, I'm going to stock Hugo Boss, for example, and just start buying Hugo Boss left, right, and centre. It's not kind of how it works. We're buying things on deals. I treat Cookeeter exactly like I treat all my online retailers. I buy things that are on offer, things that are on deal, and if it's good enough, I'll buy all the stock, basically. So that's what I do, basically. But yeah, probably not even in the top 100. Yeah, I don't know. I've got no idea, to be fair. So, but I've done a lot of orders anyway. They're doing household supplies now as well, actually, which is pretty cool. I've not actually looked at it myself. But yeah, they've got an entire catalogue of all household supplies. So it can be really interesting, actually. It's a whole nother element of Cookeeter. So, yeah, things like Blitz kitchen roll. I don't know, I'm looking here. I've got loads of stuff on there, basically. Yeah, I don't know. All sorts of stuff. Washing liquids, powders, washing up liquids, bin bags, Dettol cleaning wipes, Lenore stuff. Yeah. I've actually not even looked at that. Yeah, it looks like it's actually pretty sick, to be fair. So I've been missing out. That launched this month, I think. So yeah, pretty good. So what do you think of products sold on Cookeeter which are non-beauty products? Sometimes you see products like garden tools. If there's money to be made and you can get a marketplace invoice, then 100% go for it. Absolutely. Yeah. If there's money to be made and you can get a marketplace invoice and it sells, I'd buy it. Yeah. Excuse me. 100%. Yeah. I'll sell anything I can make money on. As long as I know it's real, I can prove it's real to Amazon. Again, I'm not saying it's not real on Cookeeter, but if you buy from a supplier with a non-marketplace invoice, you can't prove it to Amazon. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Hence why I always say you need to buy with a marketplace invoice. But I'll buy anything I can make money on. I've sold garden tools. I've sold, I don't know, laptops, gaming PCs. What have I sold? Computer mice, keyboards, monitors, TVs, ovens. I've bought ovens and not sold them recently, but yeah, I've got some ovens I've bought that I'm talking about proper, double ovens that go in your kitchen. What else? Yeah, just anything I can make money on, basically. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go to bed in 5 minutes. I'm absolutely shattered. I don't know. Today I think I've just been walking around too much and doing too much exercise and just yeah. The only problem with working out so much. I mean, one day I went. Not this. It's a lot for me because I weigh quite a lot. But yeah, like I walked around for like 5 hours. My feet were killing me. But the problem is my appetite just goes up. So, what's the status with invoices in Amazon? Is it still hard to get ungated? It's getting easier now. It always depends on the brand and how long you've been selling on Amazon, things like that. But yeah, it's getting easier. Yeah, Q4 is a horrendous time to get ungated. So last year was really bad. Yeah. So it's getting easier. Come across a product on Amazon which is different to the picture advertised. I don't know if it can be sold on there, but sells a lot with Amazon ban this. No. So a product which is different to the picture advertised. I mean, how different? We're just talking a bit of a packaging change or a totally different product, or But you've got to remember, by the way, as well, if you are selling something, you're selling. Let's say that the listing's got a picture of an iPhone, and then you're selling something else, then this is going to get returns. So is that going to cause you an issue? But yeah, how do you tackle penny droppers? All you can do is just use a repricer to price match them. That's all you can do. There's nothing else you can do, really, unfortunately. It's just part of the game. It sucks, and welcome, by the way, Auto Antics. Appreciate you coming on. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about them, apart from just keep price matching, basically. That's all you can do. Well, let's say it's banned, believed to sell in retail shops. I don't know what you mean. Yeah, do you want to DM me on Discord and I can see what it is, or you want to give the ace in here or something? But yeah, if it's banned... Well, let's say it's banned. Yeah, I mean, if it's banned, then it's banned. Look, don't take any shortcuts with Amazon. I mean, the opportunity is too great to do anything silly on Amazon. Again, this is why I say everything you buy should have your correct supply chain, or be buying from a legitimate wholesaler or a legitimate retailer. Just do it correctly. Don't take any shortcuts. And if you're selling things that are banned, I don't know what this is. I actually don't know what it is, actually. The only thing I could think of was like that nitrous oxide stuff that everyone sniffs and leaves all those canisters all over the freaking roads and stuff and pavements. Is it that? I don't know. I'm trying to think what else, really. Yeah, I've got no idea. But yeah, I've got no idea. Yeah, so, yeah, just don't do it, basically. It sounds like the answer is no. Basically, the answer to that. So, yeah. But yeah, anyway, so any kind of final questions before we wrap it up? I would stay on longer, but I'm really quite tired. I need to get to sleep. I think I'll continue to do these live streams, but I'll do them probably at 6 p.m., maybe 7 p.m. But yeah, I need to just do it earlier. I'm just dead by midnight, basically. But yeah, I'm just doing so much walking around and stuff right now that I'm just dead. So pretty tired. But yeah, anyway, so next stream will be on Thursday. I'm gonna say 6 p.m. I'm gonna say Thursday 6 p.m. But yeah, so we'll see. Maybe it'll be 7 p.m. But yeah, I think I'll change the time. Okay, we've got another question there. On Kogita, I bought DKNY 100ml. DKNY is now hard gated, by the way, on Amazon. Okay. But yeah, IP symbols. I assume you mean IP on Seller Amp. That means nothing. Seller Amp really should remove that IP stuff. But yeah, so there's no... DKNY is hard gated anyway. You can't sell it, basically. So unfortunately, I know which one you mean, Be Delicious. Yeah, I've sold it in the past. DKNY is hard gated, unless it's become ungated again. I'm pretty sure it hasn't, as far as I'm aware, but let me look, because I've got a crap load of it sat at home. Sat at the warehouse. But yeah, so look, DKNY. Yep, Be Delicious. Yep, it's hard gated. You can't sell it, basically. So unfortunately, you'll have to eBay that now. So this is what it looks like when it's hard gated. But it came out as Donna Karan. Yeah, that's what DKNY is. Donna Karan, New York or something. But yeah, so well, maybe you've got one where you can sell it. That'd be good if you can. But yeah, so but yeah, IP. It's not IP. But it is hard gated. Okay, cool. Fair enough. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, unless DKM wire on it, which I don't think they will. Yeah, you can DM me if you want or PM me. Yeah. So, someone's messaging me. That's what I'm doing. So unless it's you guys on the thing, but yeah. So yeah. I mean, if it's SellerAmp telling you IP, I totally ignore it. SellerAmp's an amazing bit of software, by the way. But yeah, what I was going to say. I am so tired. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Let's send us the DM if you want. Juggling a lot, to be honest. Fair enough. What was it about? Talking about DKNY, talking about ungating. Ungating is getting easier, by the way, to be fair. So, but yeah. Oh, yeah, IP and SellerAmp's really good, but IP warnings on there, just ignore them completely. Use your own judgment on it when it comes to doing IPs. Looking for the sharp and drops. You're looking for, in seller accounts, you're looking for the brand being on the listing. Essentially, that's what you're looking for. Yeah, anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I appreciate everyone coming on. Again, if you're interested in mentoring, I do mentoring. Link below. Book a discovery call with me. You know, we can just have a chat about Amazon if you want. I can ask if you've got any questions, you know, that you don't want to ask on here, for example. Oh, cool, that's nice. Okay, fair enough. You got some DKNY. Okay, cool. A good little loophole there, so they get $1 on the carry-on rather than DKNY. So, interesting. Okay, I see what's happening here. Yes, okay. I found it actually. I found one. Yeah, interesting. It's been like they've created a new listing under a different brand. Oh, that's hilarious. So yeah, but yeah, it's fine actually. To be fair, but yeah, if anyone's interested in mentoring, link below can help you out. It's a game changing mentorship anyway. But yeah, we'll have a just chat about book a call with me. We'll have a chat about it. You can take that time as well to ask me about Amazon, your business, things like that. I give free advice as well. So, yeah, anyway, I massively appreciate everyone coming on. It's been awesome. I'll be back on Thursday, 6 p.m. UK time, because that's better time for me, to be fair, 10 p.m. for me. And, yeah, I'll be back again. Okay, appreciate everyone coming on. It's been awesome to